This is Lily. She's shy, scared, but ready to leave her small private school to go to Nicolet as a freshman. She's eager to make new friends at her huge new public school. She makes friends quickly through volleyball, classes, and freshman activities, and she loves it. She tells her parents every day how much she loves Nicolet. Lily here discovers she is a people person and loves to meet new people and make new friends. Her first best friend, Phoebe. We met on the freshman volleyball team. She was silly, and she brought out the silliness and weirdness in me that a newcoming freshman from a small school is afraid to show. I thought she'd be my best friend forever. It's funny how every relationship I made those first few months I thought would last forever. And that brings me to the first boy. A boy named Adrian. I was a girl who loved the attention she was starting to get from boys, and there was one who was grabbing mine. I don't know exactly how it happened, but we started to talk more and FaceTime regularly, and soon we admitted we had feelings for each other. And just as freshman relationships do, we were abruptly dating. He became my new best friend, and most of my time at home was spent on FaceTime with him. I didn't realize it, but the time I started to spend with him made me lose the friends I'd started to make in the beginning of the year. By mid-freshman year, long after volleyball was over, me and Phoebe barely talked anymore. 7 months later, June 2018, after months of arguing and crying, Adrian broke up with me. At the time, it was the end of my world, and I had no friends to help me get through it. Great. To say the least, I was depressed. That whole summer I was depressed. And though this was the low point of my high school experience, it was an important lesson to learn early on. This was when Lily started to grow. So, I started to learn my first lessons from love. First, a quote from John Updike. "We are most alive when we are in love." When I look back at this relationship, I wasn't alive. This relationship was taking away my life. It was consuming me, all of my attention, and what I thought was keeping me happy was an unhealthy obsession. And at that time, I did not fully understand love, but soon I would learn. I thought love could only come from a dating relationship, but I was very wrong. Loving friends should come first, because they are always there for you, and relationships with boys, especially in high school, will not last forever. So through my love of the idea of love came the lesson of the importance of real love. I needed friends, and I was lost and unhappy without them. The theme quote for this project was from John Dewey. "We do not learn from experience, we learn from reflecting on experience." Before my freshman year at Nicolet, I would not understand this, but looking at it today, it makes total sense to me. I had downs in the beginning, and in those moments, I didn't understand what I ever did to deserve this and why it was happening, but I now realize everything was meant to happen. You can only learn once you experience. You can only learn so much through hypotheticals. You learn through living your own story. Looking back, I wouldn't change that experience for anything. It was all meant to happen, because one thing leads to another, and when I look back, I realize I needed things to happen in order to move on from them and learn something new. It's beautiful how when you look back on life, everything seems to make sense, even when it seemed to make no sense at all during that time. So that summer, I started to make new friends. It was like starting from nothing again. At this point, I felt like everyone already had all their friend groups figured out. Glen Hills people stayed with Glen Hills people, Bayside with Bayside, Mapledale with Mapledale. Everyone stuck with the friends they already had. And there I was from Little St. Eugene School, no one to lean back on. It was hard, but I did what I could, and I made new friends that summer and started to become a little more satisfied with where I was. I became close with my new best friend Trent during the end of summer. We had some great times, and she made me hopeful that I would find happiness again, and that there were still friends out there for me. She brought out my happy, silly self that was trapped away for a while, and she made me truly smile again because of the immediate connection we had. Together, we went on late summer night adventures and grew through singing and laughing together. That summer ended happily because of Tren. Sophomore year. The first day of school, I met Sophia. First hour, we had math together. Then we sat next to each other in anatomy, and I knew of her, but we had never talked before. From this third hour class, we saw each other again in fifth hour English. The first few days, we started up some conversation, and then we clicked pretty fast. We bonded over our unique teacher and our weird classmates in anatomy, which turned to music, which turned to making each other laugh, which turned to us choosing each other as partners for every project, which turned into the best friend I had been searching for this whole time. Sophia and I were basically inseparable, and we had half of our classes together, including lunch, where I sat at her table and was introduced to her friends. Sophia was from Glen Hills, so she was friends with a group of girls everyone just called the Glen Hills girls. Soon I was associated with them, and that was when I met a whole new group of people to have fun with. I had finally done it. I'd finally found a group I fit into, and I was finally happy. I had the best times in the world with Sophia, and I don't think there was a day when we didn't laugh until we couldn't breathe. Sophia let me be 100% me, and I give her so much credit for helping me become who I am today. That's when my story of love continued. I had made friends who I loved, and this was a whole new type of love for me because it was a solid friendship. That's how I redefined love. And that's when I was finally over that stupid boy from freshman year. Lucille Ball said, "Love yourself and everything falls into line." It's true. I learned when you love yourself, you can be yourself, and everything starts to come together with much more sense. My friends brought out every hidden part of me because we loved each other, and we were able to be our true selves with each other. At the end of that year, I played JV soccer. I was friends with a girl named Kara, and I told her to join the team because she used to play. Me and Kara became extremely close on this team, and I had found yet another friend whom I loved dearly. Kara opened another philosophical, deep thinking side of myself that I had hidden inside of me, and only a friend like her could bring it out of me through long rooftop conversations and unique experiences of learning. I was so happy. When I found friends who I loved and who loved me, I was at peace. I was at the high of my life, and this is when I grew my conscious positive outlook on life. Life is amazing. I love life. All of that. Be happy, peace, and love. My personality started to blossom. I loved my friends, and that love gave me the best feeling of happiness I could have. Through friends that supported who I am, I was able to grow comfortable in my own shoes. I had become my own character, and I thank these girls for making me who I am. Through love, I learned to love myself, and I became more loving to others. I was exactly who I wanted to be, and that is me, Lily. When I became Lily, I met Maddie. She was in my friend group, but we had never become close. Maddie's proof that when you become yourself, you'll meet the perfect friends, because me and Maddie are so close to the same person that it's funny how we never became friends until 2 years after I'd met the girl. We both share the same adventurous spirit and outlook on life, and we have very similar ways of thinking as well. We go skiing together, go to Door County together, and of course play our favorite game, Minecraft, together. Maddie brought out the adventure in me, which I always had deep down, but I was never able to show until that first time we went to Door County together. We went on hikes, drove around the small town, and enjoyed all the beautiful moments a summer trip has to offer together. I thank Maddie for bringing out the love for adventure and discovery in me, and bringing me a friend who I can always count on to have a fun time with. Junior year, I also fell in love with a boy. It had been after wanting a boyfriend for so long and hoping that every boy I talked to would be the one. So I realized that you don't search for love. Love comes to you. But you really do have to love yourself first, or you'll look for love that you don't even know how to give back. This is a very important lesson that I learned from Santi. We had been friends since freshman year, and it had been natural that we developed feelings for each other when we started hanging out more. By being in love with someone, a genuine, happy, pure love, I've been learning much more about love. All the movies I thought were cheesy make so much more sense to me now. Love is unconditional. Love is when someone likes you for exactly who you are. Love makes you a new kind of happy. I've grown and learned a lot through this kind of love, and I couldn't have found it without Santi. Okay, this is the end, I promise. Through my high school experience, I've grown the most comfortable with myself than I have ever been. It's the best feeling in the world. I grew from a scared little freshman who thought over every word she said to anyone, who wanted to be someone she wasn't, to a person who is completely accepting just of who she is. Not just that, she's proud of it. I've learned the most important lesson in my life so far, which is be you. Love who and what you love, and be passionate with that love. If you are yourself, you'll be happy, because you'll find the people who are perfect for you, and they will find you too. If you are you, you're following the path that was made for you, and you will find happiness. Just as Paulo Coelho said, when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you achieve it. Each thing has to transform itself into something better, and to acquire a new personal legend until someday the soul of the world becomes one thing only. I'm happy to have learned everything in my high school experience has taught me. But what's beautiful is my story isn't over yet, and it will never be. I continue to learn more about life and the universe every day. And again, I thank everyone I love for teaching me the most important lessons in life. I'm proud of who I am, grateful for everything I've had the privilege to experience, and excited for what more the world has to teach me. Again, from Paulo Coelho, from The Alchemist. When we love, we always strive to become better than we are. When we strive to become better than we are, everything around us becomes better too. I thank all of my friends for making me exactly who I am today, and for making me proud of everything that I've become. This is Lily, perfectly herself, proud and happy.
Every night fucks every day up. Every day patches the night up. Oh God, you should match it, it's the KO. No white lighters till I fuck my 28th up. 1998, my family had the Acura.